everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am so thankful that you are joining me again, and I am thankful that you have been so patient while I have been switching everything over to my new phone, which is how I take all the videos and do all the editing and do all the recordings and the voiceovers and everything I do off of my phone. And my old phone finally died, and died to the point where it was non-resurrectable. So my husband convinced me to switch to the iPhone, which I was using an Android, so now I have to get all new accessories and everything and learn how to operate an iPhone. And so far, I will say that I feel like the learning curve is pretty steep, and I'm a dinosaur who doesn't love technology to begin with, so it's just like, it's just this big thing. But I do enjoy the editing on the iPhone way more than I enjoyed it on the Android. So there's a win for the iPhone, I suppose. So anyways, thank you so much for being patient. I know it's been like a long time since I've been able to post a video. But I thought today I would share with you my refrigerator deep clean, which I do this about, once a quarter, maybe once every 6 months or something. I'll pull everything out of the fridge and wipe everything down, and it just gives me like a good refreshing start to whatever season we're about to go into. I like to do this right before the holiday season, so right now is a great time because as we host people and throw parties, and as I'm doing all the holiday baking, the fridge just inevitably becomes a disaster. And just the same thing with like self-cleaning the oven. I did an oven self-clean the other night when it was cool enough that we could open the windows. So same thing with the fridge. I just like to get everything nice and tidy right before the holidays so that I can head into holiday baking and entertaining season with freshly cleaned appliances that just like feel good to open, right? And nobody wants to open an oven and see it just full of grody-ness. And it's the same thing with the fridge, especially, if you're going to have company over, or even for your own peace of mind. It just is so much nicer to have clean appliances ready to go. So in cleaning the fridge, one of the things that I really like to do is, instead of having to walk back and forth to the sink to rinse the dirty rag out, I will just get a little bucket, a little container of hot soapy water, and I'll keep that right there in the fridge with me. And then I'm just snoozing the door alarm there. Our fridge has this nifty feature where it will beep at you if you leave the door open. However, if I'm purposefully in the fridge and cleaning it, I don't want to hear it beeping at me every 30 seconds, reminding me that the door is open, because, clearly I know the door is open. Anyways, so I will fill a container with hot soapy water, and I'll grab a rag, and I will bring that right into the fridge with me so I don't have to keep going back and forth to the sink. And also what I'll do while I'm in here is I will check expiration dates. Anything that's close to the expiration, I will go ahead and pull out and make a plan for. You'll see a couple times like I find something in the fridge I didn't even realize I had, which is wild to me because my fridge is not that full. The only time my fridge is full is on grocery delivery day, where I just stuff everything in the fridge first before dealing with breaking it down and washing things and getting stuff prepped for the week. So it was wild. It got me thinking, like, we have a counter depth fridge, and one of my biggest, sore spots about it is how much space we lost when we switched to the counter depth fridge. And I guess I've just gotten accustomed to not having as much space as the full-sized French door fridge, because now that I have the counter depth one, when it's full like that, I feel overwhelmed. It's so much nicer when I can see everything and when everything is tidy and clean and organized. So just a little word of encouragement if you have a counter depth fridge and you have a large family, or you regret the switch. Like, it's been about 2 years since we switched to the counter depth, and I'm really enjoying it. Although initially I thought I'm really gonna miss the storage space from our full size fridge. So anyways, what else I will do here is I will go and I will wipe the bottoms of all the containers. Inevitably, somebody spills something, and then it gets put back in the fridge, and then it becomes a sticky, greasy grody mess on the shelving, and that's just like a pain to clean. Although I will say that this fridge, which is a GE Cafe, in case you're wondering, it's white, it's matte white with copper accents. All of the little bins actually come off the door, and they're easily washable. And then the big bins, the ones that I'm storing all the condiments in, those actually have like these little gripper mats in the bottom of them that go up the side a little bit. So if anything does spill, you can just take the mat out and wash the mat, and then the container itself doesn't get, the shelf itself doesn't get all filthy, which is a pretty neat little thing. So I really like this fridge. I'm a big fan of the GE Cafe products. Also, you'll see that a couple of times I almost have like a near disaster where I almost spill the little container of water in the fridge, which, you know, is the price of, I guess, being lazy and not having to walk back and forth to the sink. But I managed to avert disaster quite a few times, and I do not spill the water, so that's very nice. That water, by the way, gets super filthy, kind of gross to think about all that stuff that's just kind of like sitting on the shelves in the fridge and how it's touching all the dirty things. But regardless, it gets clean, and like I said, I try to do this like either once a quarter or once every 6 months, but definitely ahead of the holidays. Just gets me ready for the immense amount of holiday baking that will be coming up. Something else that I'll do here is I will just, if there's a condiment in the fridge that I haven't used in a long time, I'll just pitch it, because it's just taking up space. It's annoying me that we're not using it. And there's like, sometimes somebody will bring something over for a meal, and when whatever the condiment is, maybe we just don't enjoy it. Like, don't let that stuff sit around in your cabinets or in your fridge, taking up space and taking up mental space too, because every time I open the fridge, I see this jar of like truffle mayonnaise that we just didn't enjoy. It just wasn't that good. And so I'll just toss it because I'm done dealing with it. And so it's so silly to think that like those little things take up so much mental space, but they really do. And then every time I open the fridge, I see it and I'm like, I should do something with it. No, you know what? I don't like it. We're just going to throw it away and be done with it. And then that will free up that space there in the fridge for something that we actually want to eat and want to keep on hand. Something else you'll notice here is that I keep my fridge pretty organized. Like, we don't just shove stuff around. Everything has a space. Like, I have one shelf for the pet food, one shelf for the breakfast items, one shelf for the dairy items, one shelf for whatever I happen to be fermenting, if it's sourdough or sauerkraut, a shelf for all the leftovers, and a shelf for the cut up fruit and vegetables. And I like to keep my fridge organized in that manner. It just helps me when I open it up to know exactly what I have. And it's so embarrassing because I'm so organized, and I tend to think that I'm very on top of things, but even in this video, I find a bag of salad mix that I got at Aldi like 2 weeks ago and totally forgot about it, and it had gone bad. So it's just sitting there in my vegetable crisper, rotting away. And what is it about salad mix? Like, I just feel compelled to buy a bag of salad mix and let it rot in my fridge. Why? Why do I feel compelled to do that? I also go through these like streaks where I will eat a salad for lunch for weeks. That is what I will have for lunch, is just a salad, and I'll be perfectly happy. And then suddenly that's not what I want anymore. I want like leftovers or something different. But like, of course, my buying habits don't keep up with my eating habits, so then I have this just rotten bag of salad mix sitting in the fridge. So wasteful and so dumb. I don't know why I do this to myself. Yes, we do have a lot of condiments, before anybody asks, so I am the condiment spouse. I am absolutely convinced that there are two people in every relationship. There is the condiment spouse and the non-condiment spouse, and I am the condiment spouse. I must have a dip or a sauce to go with my food. And my husband, who is just a heathen, eats his food completely dry. He will not put condiments on his food. It makes me crazy. I don't understand how you can live life without like a sauce or a dip or some type of condiment on your food. But he is perfectly happy to eat his food however it is prepared and not add anything to it, which I guess I should be happy that he thinks that my food that I make for him is good enough that it doesn't need the little zhuzh, the little extra bit, but I need the little zhuzh, the little extra bit, even on the food that I'm preparing. So let me know in the comments, are you the condiment spouse or are you the non-condiment spouse? Because I am convinced that in every marriage, somebody is one and somebody is the other. All right, so as you can tell, I've sped up the video a little bit. I'm still trying to experiment with editing and how this is all going to work. And now on top of it, I have to learn a new operating system. And so I'm just going to go ahead and apologize now for any weirdness in the editing or the sound. I am really trying to learn how to do this. I want to be able to do this all right from my phone and be an encouragement. So I really hope that you're getting a lot of value out of the content here. If you could leave a comment, like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. That does so much to let me know what is being found useful and what we want to make more videos of. So, and that also helps me, decide where do I want to spend my time. Something I think that's really important is to remember that even in something so simple as just cleaning out a fridge or wiping down the appliances or just the daily mundane little tasks, like this is you getting to take stewardship. This is you getting to take dominion over a space of yours. And maybe it's a rented space. Maybe it's your fridge in your apartment, or maybe it's a big, beautiful fridge in a big, beautiful house. Doesn't matter, but this is you being able to take dominion over a small corner of the world and being able to bring order to chaos, even in something as mundane as just how you organize your fridge. And I think that there is such a cool, beauty in being able to organize a space that was chaotic. And I'm not trying to get too deep here or spiritual or anything about cleaning out a fridge, but you really can have a theology surrounding how you clean your fridge. You just your theology is going to work out in your fingertips. So if you really believe that you get to take dominion, start in those spaces immediately around you and start with organizing and decluttering and cleaning and beautifying those spaces immediately around you. Start small. You don't have to buy fancy storage solutions or anything like on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, so I don't even know what's on TikTok right now. But you don't have to go very far out of your way. You just have to go that one extra step. And it might be just pulling everything out of the fridge and organizing, maybe putting stuff in the freezer that's close to its expiration date to be a better steward of the things that God has put in your life. Just little things like that make all the difference in the world. And I really want to encourage you. You are entirely capable of doing this. You are entirely capable of managing the areas around you. Even if you open your fridge and you just feel overwhelmed and that's all you can do today, pick one shelf and do one shelf, because it is the act of doing the things. It's just the act of doing that motivates you to do more. And this is scientifically proven that you just by accomplishing something, even if it's a tiny thing, even if it's just wiping one bottle that's sticky in the fridge, it motivates you to do the next thing. And that is so profound. And it's you think about it, I'm just cleaning one area, I'm just cleaning one little thing, but actually what you're doing is you're taking dominion. You're bringing order to chaos right in front of you. And it might just be the chaos of a sticky ketchup bottle, but it's one thing that you've ordered, and that is so important. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me today on this deep clean video. I hope to do some more short sort of content like this in the near future. If you have any questions, if you want to see anything in particular, leave me a comment down below. I love that you guys are liking and subscribing and sharing the content, and I really appreciate the support. This has been such a huge learning curve for me, but I'm having fun with it, so I appreciate it. All right, Sola Dea Gloria, be blessed, goodbye.